You're going to have to follow me if that's okay. It's a bit dimly lit, but this head torch should help to guide us. And as we go up, there'll be a window so you'll be able to get your bearings. Sam, what are you talking about? Well, tonight we're looking at 1 John, and I picture 1 John as a bit like spiraling up the staircase of a tower. I don't know if you've ever done that in a kind of castle or in a church going up to the bell chamber, but they're wonderful things spiraling up. And as you go round, you hit a window each time, don't you? And you can see more and more the higher up you go. So the first time round, as you gaze out the window, you can see a little way. Then you go around again and look out the window. Whoa, the world looks a bit different. You can see a bit more. You go around again, and the same thing as you hit the window, you can see a little bit more and a little bit further, and then again, and a little bit more and a little bit further. And then you reach the top and you can see all of the horizon. Well, I understand 1 John as a little bit like that. It's a little bit about working our way round these 5 chapters, spiraling upwards till we come out in chapter 5 on the top and can admire the view. And John is leading us with his head torch up the spiral as we ascend the staircase. And of course, the whole letter is about light. It's about light and life. And John is writing so that those early Christians can explore, they can discover and explore and hold on to that light and life which he's writing about. And of course, we use light like this all the time, don't we, to shine the way ahead. Well, actually, John is using it in a different kind of way. He talks about how the light shines in the darkness. So in chapter 1, as he takes us around the spiral, he introduces the themes of light and of life. And then in chapter 2, he goes a little bit deeper with this light and says, actually, this light doesn't shine ahead of us so much as within us. And it deals with the darkness in our lives, casting out the darkness, atoning for the sin in our lives through the blood, the sacrifice of Jesus Christ, setting us free so that we might then move forwards in the light. We don't need to be afraid of the difficult stuff, of the dark stuff within us, because the light of Christ is not thwarted by it. No, the light of Christ is able to deal with it and able to set us free so that we might live the life of Christ in fellowship with God and in fellowship with other people. 1 John is always about us with God as an individual, but also us with God with other people. There's the vertical stuff, us with God, and the horizontal stuff, us with other people. So that's the first time round the spiral. The second time, actually, the first time is introducing the themes of light and life. The second time is how this light can deal with the darkness in our lives so that we can live, go forwards in that life that Christ has made possible for us, held out to us, and draws us in so that we might share that life of God with Him. And then we go round the spiral again. And this time in chapter 3, Jesus takes us deeper. It's more than just about what we do, it's actually about who we are. This light shines deep into us, not just about our actions or even the hidden parts of what we do, the stuff that no one else knows. No, the deepest parts of who we are, our identity. So that in this light and this life, we discover that we are children of God, not servants or slaves, but children of God. And John wants these disciples that he's writing to know that they aren't just people who are acquaintances with God or even friends with God, but much deeper than that. That through this light and this life, we become children of God. And then as we spiral round, John wants us to see in chapter 4, as we go round for a fourth time, just how complex this stuff is. As we live in this light and this life, as we allow it to shine in the darkest places of what we've done, and then as we allow it to form our core identity, as we go around again, John says, so guys, stay in this light and this life. Don't be deceived. Don't think that darkness is easier or preferable. No, stay in the light because that's where life is. And then he takes us around again, and we get to the top of the tower. We come out into the fresh air, and we can see the whole panoramic view. He gives us the vision of Christ's victory once and for all over all of death and darkness and evil. He takes us, if you like, to the end of time and shows us how Christ will have the final word. That final word will never be something that darkness can utter. No, there'll always be another word, and it will come from Christ. His light, his life will triumph. His light and his life will have the ultimate word. And so that's why he ends by encouraging these Christians to whom he's writing to stay in Christ. We are in him, and he is true. And he ends with what seems to be like a curious verse. For he ends at the end of chapter 5 of 1 John by saying, "Little children," reminding us of our identity, "keep yourselves from idols." Strange end, John. What are you talking about? Well, what he's saying is, keep away from shadows, keep away from pale imitations, keep away from reflections of reality, because what you've been offered, what Christ has given you, what's that light? Is real light. Light which shines in the darkness, which overcomes darkness, light which gives to us life and ultimate security, friendship, fellowship, relationship with God as his children, and fellowship with each other all around the world as well. What else do we need? Why would we settle for idols, for shadows and imitations of true reality, when what's been gifted to us is true reality? No, says John, stay in the light and the life which is true reality. So there's 1 John for you. Explore this journey as John spirals up the staircase, pausing each time so that we can glimpse the view until we reach the top and can survey the whole panorama and see how this light, this life is Christ's and is the answer to every need in the world, to every situation, to every problem. And this answer, it's already been given to us. It's ours, and it forms our identity. It's why John writes, so that those to whom he writes and us who read might know this light and this life, receive it and live it. Amen.